Put your hands together.
There goes the neighborhood.
And welcome him to the stage. Big round of applause.
There goes the neighborhood.
Welcome back to the SmokeScreen podcast, episode 90.
Number 9.
Number 90, almost to that centennial of
Very
110 more episodes, or 9 more. But yeah, we thought it was like 85. We're confused.
Yeah.
We're old and confused. We're
old
been
still.
talking about that all night, being old and confused. Welcome back, everybody, to a regular podcast. We're not going live this week.
Yeah, man.
We're a little late because our food got kind of fucked up. And that's always happens when James is here.
Yeah,
It's a weird thing.
If it comes on time, it's messed up.
That's right. And then they just closed and didn't give us no food. So
I was thinking, I think that's the second time that's happened to us, where they closed on us.
I think so too.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't. It's so weird, man. Whatever. So we're a little behind, but we're back in true crime mode.
Heck yes.
Got a good one. It's really fascinating. You said you were familiar with this case. This is the Amy Bradley case. New documentary on Netflix, and I think it's just called Amy Bradley Went Missing. Something very simple like that.
Bradley is missing, yeah.
Okay, something like that. So you said you were familiar with this, but I had not. Maybe I was familiar vaguely with it, but so was there something else on, or you just knew about it from?
Oh, just true crime stuff,
Yeah.
yeah. And that when they showed her that she was on America's Most Wanted.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
there's
was
something
our age.
definitely familiar about her, so I probably heard it, I'm sure, at the time on the news or something.
I'm
for
sure you did.
Yeah. Very odd case of a girl who goes missing on a cruise.
Yes.
And it's just so many weird twists after the fact, too, that you're like, okay, yeah, she fell over, she jumped, maybe she wasn't, really, people didn't really know how sad she was, and could have been like a, self-deletion thing, but then no, she was spotted several times after that. So we'll get into all that as well. Before I do, I forgot. I wrote a book.
Yes,
we kept
you
saying
did.
we got to mention this. For any new people out here, I wrote a book a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. 3 years ago, dude, this came out. 3 fucking years. The Crimson Gods. This is my hardcover. I've got a few left back here.
I was telling you when I got here
Yeah,
tonight.
that's what reminded
I've been listening to this book again
Yeah,
while I've been
the
working.
audio book. Yeah,
And I'm on chapter 17. How many chapters are there?
44.
Okay.
I think.
So yeah, I'm on chapter 17. I've been listening to it, and it's really good, man. I was telling him I'm getting more, from this time through, and
I'll take that back. 45, 46.
wow.
Yeah, the last one was before the acknowledgments is 45, I believe. No, 46. I'm sorry.
So I'm the
Well, it's technically 46. I just don't call it that. Yeah, A New Day was the last chapter.
I'm just a shade over a third of the way through.
Yeah.
it.
So it just is cool that you said that, because I'm starting to forget my own shit, man. That's how long it's been since I've really written.
Yeah.
I'm starting to
I
forget.
noticed
Like,
when I
okay,
was bringing it up. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, wait a
You
minute.
have to
What is the
think.
name? Preceptors. Okay, I remember them, and then Mitch and some of the characters you brought up. So anyway, if you like medieval fantasy, specifically dark fantasy, with maybe a little twist in there, pick up the Crimson Gods anywhere books are sold. Anywhere. We were in a bookstore at the beach last week, and I always look. They didn't have it.
I think anybody should be proud for that to be their first book.
I am proud of this. This is very cool. Lost a lot of money on it, but I'm very, very happy with
I
it.
told him, I said, had I just now read this, had I not been involved the whole time,
Right, he was my.
and I was reading it now in 2025, I swear I would think you use ChatGPT. There's some things in there that you wrote that I'm like, man, that's really clever.
Yeah,
So,
well, I
have to give you
appreciate it, man. It
props
makes
on
me
that.
makes me feel good. Hopefully, one of these days, Netflix is going to pick it up. No, I'm gonna tell you what I want to do with it before we jump into the podcast. I really, some of you guys that watch this may be familiar with some of the other YouTubers out there, I'm sure. Eric July, Ripa, Young Ripa is his channel. He does comics, and well, he actually does a lot of politics and stuff too. But he's a comic channel, and now he's got his own. Y'all see me wearing his shirt because I ordered some of his
Yes,
comics.
yes.
Ice 'em. So he's got a company now that does. It's called Rip Ascend. I mean, he's got a multi-million-dollar comic company now. It's crazy. I mean, he started that in 2024, 23. And anyway, I would love to turn this into a little series of graphic novels, and I could use his business, his Rip Ascend, to do that because he would help with distribution and stuff. And I would really like, and I've reached out to him directly because every time I went to the website, Eric, if you see this, by the way, if anybody knows him, send it along. I've tried to reach out on the website, and I always get the website error on the Rip Ascend thing so I've sent him DMs on Twitter and Instagram, and I would love to turn the Crimson Gods. I think it would be an awesome, like maybe a 10-book graphic novel series. You think probably based off the length? It's a 90-something thousand word novel, so that would be really cool to see that visually.
It would.
I think that would be a really cool project, but I just can't do it right now, money-wise. Like to hire. I mean, I could do something if I know that his company would get. He's got a big influence out there, and he's done some other people that he's worked with in the past and helped them with their projects and books and all kinds of cool stuff. As a matter of fact, one's a memoir like you're writing.
Wow. To
another big YouTuber named Nerdrotic. Gary is his name. So he's got a memoir coming out. And because he has a whole cool story about he was a comic shop owner and he ended up in prison, and now he's like a huge YouTuber, successful, and really cool story. So now his memoir's coming out, and he's pushing it real hard. So the reason I said that is because I think this would be awesome in graphic novel form. Comic-y style with those. It'll be awesome. But anyways,
those drawings over there, they're awesome.
And Urtatch did those, and I can't afford Urtatch to do a whole, 10 books or whatever. But I don't know how that works. I would love to invest in that and do it. But anyway, they could guide me with it, help me with that process. Anyway,
that'd be awesome.
Maybe somebody will see that. Maybe Mr. July will see my DMs and get a hold of me back and let me know what's going on with that.
If you have the book, and you haven't listened to the audio version, I totally recommend that. Go on Audible and listen to it. That's what I'm doing at work. It flows really well.
Yeah, and Graham did an awesome job with that.
Very good job.
Anyway, to get back on track, because we're a little late here, we don't want to get too rushed here because James has to work. Amy Bradley.
Yep.
So the basic story is this girl goes on a cruise with her parents and brother, and it was the Carnival. I believe it was Carnival.
Yeah, it was Royal Caribbean.
Oh, Royal Caribbean. Right.
Rhapsody of the Seas.
The Rhapsody. I remember that name, so that did pop out to me watching that documentary. Goes on a cruise there, and this is down to like the Caribbean, Barbados, and I forget the other couple little islands and all that, and very odd circumstances. So she disappears on the cruise, like as they're porting into which I forgot the island.
Curacao.
Yeah, there you go. So the circumstance was that night before she's out in the dance club right there with her brother. She is seen dancing with a guy that's like the bass player in the band or something. That will come up. His guy, they call him Yellow.
Yep. His name is Alistair Douglas, but they call him Yellow.
Yellow.
Even the FBI agents.
Yeah, the nickname because of something he wore, I guess it was. Anyway, so seen there, but then they go back to the room. Because every time like the brother was talking on this documentary, I thought, okay, he left her there. I thought that was stupid. He goes back to the room and without her, but I was like, that's when she disappeared. No, she came back to the room.
That's what I thought.
And she came back to the room. They went out to the balcony of this room on the ship to smoke. They hung out there for a little bit longer. He goes to crash. She says she don't feel good. She stays out on the balcony and I believe goes to sleep in the chair. About 5:30, I believe it was ish. Her dad wakes up and sees her legs, like he could see out the door from their little room there, and she sees her asleep on the chair, or at least her legs laying there. But then, like 30 minutes later, he kind of wakes back up again, and the door is now open. He said, I think 12 to 14 inches. Her cigarettes are gone, but her shoes are still there.
And her shirt's laying over the chair.
And a yellow shirt she was wearing over the white one was laying there over the chair, and she was gone. And it's very odd that at that little time frame she vanished, because then they were docking. I think at that point they did start. He went to look for. I don't know though. It sounded odd to me, like I don't know if it was just a feeling he had.
I chalked it up to like a parent's intuition.
Yeah, because it felt like it was a little fast, like to be worried that something's like wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought so too.
I don't know.
Very fast.
So anyway, they go and he's looking for
a 23-year-old.
Exactly, for an adult on a cruise, right? Yep, exactly. And then they go to the staff, and they really can't do anything. They don't stop. They were like, don't port, don't dock, and they like, we have to. We have thousands of other people paying here, customers. And I understand that to a degree, but anyway, they do eventually do a search of the ship, but they do let people off and go about their business. Eventually, when it got later that morning, they do an announcement.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that at first. They said
Right.
it would bother people. Like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that could have made a difference there. If there's, we don't know, never know. So anyway, she's gone at that point, and they're looking. They do this search of the whole ship with the whole. Apparently, the entire crew gets involved, and they have, I guess, a routine thing they can do. Search the whole ship in like 30 minutes, which I don't buy that they can do that. And then she's just not there. She's vanished out of thin air.
Now,
Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead.
when like Chris said earlier, her brother came back to the room before her, and so then she came back, and they were out on the balcony smoking and talking. She told her brother that the guy from the band that she had been dancing with made an aggressive pass at her, or aggressive physical pass, something like that. It was worded something like that.
Right, like
And so that's how his name got brought up to begin with. Like, that's the first time you really hear about him, was that conversation she had with her brother briefly before he went in and went to bed.
Right.
So then the dad gets up. He was already going to get up anyway, probably an early riser. It's about 7 o'clock. And he thought he was going to run into her when he was walking around.
Right.
But when he didn't, he came back and told his wife, and that's when they kind of panicked a little early, like we said, and went down there and talked to him about making an announcement or something.
Right. And now they did at that point, because, of course, their first thinking is, she fell overboard. But she was drunk that night, and admittedly so, I believe. But then I believe if you look at the tab, they went back and looked at that. The police, when they got involved, the local guy, she had like 6 or 7 beers from like
7
that night on all the way. So she wasn't like blackout, stupid drunk.
Right.
And the balconies were high, apparently. Not, these low things where you could flip over easy. So they did do a search. They did a search area from the time that she was reported, from the time they had, the parents told her where they were at, because they were almost there. They were almost at the location.
Yep.
And the local police there at that island, they were like, we know our water's here. She would have washed up, they never found a body, nothing like that. But they did do searches by helicopter and boat, locally.
Yeah, they could look at the time frame of when the dad said he saw her legs. From then until they docked in port, that's where they came up with their search grid.
Yes.
And like the Coast Guard, like everybody was searching.
Right.
And he said there's sharks in the water. Even if she was eating, they wouldn't eat their whole body. An arm or a leg would wash
He
up.
actually said that. He was pretty
Yeah.
He was just straight up like, something would have washed up, an arm or a leg or something.
Piece of clothing or something.
Exactly. And I don't doubt him for sure, but then again, you don't really know the ocean. You can say you know the ocean all you want, but if something grabs her and hauls her under, and who knows, for a couple miles, you never know how that's going to work out. Or it could have been different that day. I mean, who knows? But
and one thing I want to bring up too is this was a different time. Like when Chris mentioned earlier, her brother left her at the dance floor. Went back to the room.
This was
feel
80,
like
80,
98, I think.
98, okay.
96 or 98, I guess. She was born in
98, I think.
Okay.
Right, 98, yep.
Yeah, it was March of 98. Yep, that's what it was.
Yep.
March 24th, 98 is when she went missing. Okay, so it's a different time. And like we said, they came back to the thing and was smoking. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what 23-year-olds, and her brother was 21. That's what they did back then.
Yep.
And, you know, they were with their parents. That's another thing that, to me, because I told you earlier, when you watch this, you can't help but think of your own daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the same thing could happen. She could go missing on a cruise, but the fact that she was with them,
Yes.
that has to eat those parents
It has to
up.
tear him up, dude.
They
I'm telling
literally
you.
were in the same cabin.
Yeah, it wasn't like that they
sleeping.
went and you know they had a separate room down the
Yeah.
hall.
Right there
Yes.
under the dad's and mom's watch. And it just happened, man. I mean, she was a grown woman. If she did not fall overboard or jump, if she didn't do that, she literally tiptoed back through that room,
Yeah.
went out that door, and was never seen again.
Right. And that's the big question is, so they start going back, kind of through her life and all that, and they reveal things that make you think, okay, she could have been maybe, I'm going to say, I guess, suicidal. I don't know if YouTube will strike us for that, whatever. These days, you never know. But because, it turns out she was gay and she had recently come out.
Again, different time.
Different time. She come out to her parents, and they weren't happy about it, but they loved her, so wasn't like they just didn't understand. Those days they didn't understand. They thought it was more of a choice type thing, and for some people maybe it was. But anyway, but they had been past that, and then you later learn about her girlfriend at the time, and then there was another girl kind of at the same time. I'm thinking.
Now,
She kind of comes in at the end. We'll get to that, I guess.
She did just get a new apartment.
Yep.
A new dog. She was a recent college graduate.
Yep.
She had a lot going for her. So the documentary's really good at making you feel like, okay, I could see maybe she was depressed.
Yes, but then they'll kind of pull it back in. Yeah, exactly. They'll kind of pull it back in.
I was feeling all those same emotions you're talking about.
Exactly, because it's like, okay, well, maybe she was, a little bit down and out, and she got drunk, and, maybe she woke up and thought about her. She never fell asleep. Maybe she was out there the whole night bawling, but then, they reel it back in because she reconnected with this girl, and she read this note, and it was like a love story, and they had reconnected, and she got this dog in an apartment. And she was excited. She sent her a postcard.
Yeah,
from one of the islands.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if we mentioned this. I think you did. She was a college athlete.
Yes,
she was
basketball
the first
player.
girl at her high school to get a full ride to college to play basketball.
Correct.
But
she was short.
Yeah,
not athletic, but short.
So she's very athletic, and there was one theory where somebody said something about, she said she was going to dive off the boat when they got close and swim
because she was a strong swimmer.
and
Yes,
see if she could beat the boat to port. And then they never mentioned that theory again.
That's true.
They mentioned that one time.
That's right. And if you think about that, I mean, the cigarettes don't make any sense. You don't take your cigarette swimming.
Nope. But her shoes were there.
Shoes were still there.
And the table was pushed over to the edge of the railing.
Right.
To that.
So, because she went, and I said she was short, not to pick on her height.
Right.
I said she was short because of the railing. She's not just going to necessarily flip over. I mean, I guess in some weird way that's certainly possible. But yeah, the railing was taller. She's not just going to accidentally fall over too easily. It's going to take some effort.
I don't buy that theory because I think, having been 23 and a drinker who did crazy things, alcohol probably is the root of all the crazy things you do when you're young.
Yeah.
And I don't think
you mean the
was
swim?
type of
You mean the
person-
swim theory, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't
either.
think she's the type of person that would dive off of a
No, especially with their
ship.
parents, and right then at that moment without telling anybody is
still
weird.
dark outside.
Now again, if she's there with a couple friends or even her brother, maybe if he's out there and she's got somebody to like, hey, watch this shit, you know,
Yes.
type of thing,
Yes.
maybe. But at that time where she's been asleep all night in the chair and it's waking up, and then you don't decide that
Good point.
right there.
You're going to tell somebody.
You're going to tell somebody.
Yeah, you're going to leave a note or something.
Right.
Hey, guys, I'm a great swimmer. I dove
I just
in.
wanted to try this shit.
Yeah.
I told somebody I would, you
Yeah.
know, or
She
you go in there and
wasn't reckless.
say, what, I forgot the brother's name. I forgot his name.
I don't have his name.
Yeah. Anyway, he's there. You go in there at least say, hey, watch. Hey, look, I'm gonna beat this damn ship in. Watch this shit.
Right.
And so I'll see you on shore. But you don't just wake up at 5:30 in the morning where you're still maybe hungover or whatever it may be and decide, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna swim to shore.
Yeah.
So I don't buy that either in that circumstance.
Now there is one thing. Their neighbor in the cabin next to them.
Yeah, that was a little.
Now, what's
little odd
weird?
there.
It took me a second because he looks old right now, but you got to go. Oh, wait a minute. You know, this was almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, she would look like that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
he
was a younger guy.
Yeah, she's our age. Or
Our
close
age,
to
right
it. Yeah,
between
right
us.
between it. Yeah,
Mhm.
That's
She was
right.
born in 74.
That's right.
And so evidently they at night would, you know, there's a partition between
The balconies.
the
but yeah.
balconies, yeah, and he would stand on one side and she'd stand on the other, and they'd lean over and talk to each other. So there was another theory that maybe she tried to crawl around there to go to his cabin and fell off,
Yeah.
or she did make it over there, either where she came out the door and
Right.
went in his cabin or something, and he did something.
And then he
with
did
her.
something right. Yep.
Those two things, and they didn't entertain that a whole lot. I think the FBI might have
Yeah, and
questioned
the
him.
mom said the couple of things she brought up was that apparently the other neighbors across from him, on the other side of him, said that at that time in the morning his music was playing really loud for some reason at 5:30.
and they could hear him talking to somebody.
But he was talking to somebody,
Yes.
right? But then he was interviewed, and I don't remember. I know the yellow guy, the bass player, got a polygraph.
Yeah,
I don't know if he did.
I can't
A
remember.
lot of polygraphs involved.
Yeah.
But so he just whatever they interviewed him obviously and found no reason to believe that he had anything to do with it. And he said he's in the documentary. And says
I was
he
going to say
don't. Yeah,
the
he's-
balls of him to come on a documentary
Yes.
30 years later with an open case.
Exactly. So I don't. They mention that, but it is a possibility, of course. But that's about it. So I'm trying to think. So the weird part about that being in international waters, 12 miles offshore, you know, there's nobody. You can't just call the U.S. government and say, "Hey, my daughter's missing," and they can just pull out all the stops. I mean, legally.
Yeah, I found
anyway.
out a lot watching this.
Yeah, I
about
mean, you
that.
got to deal with the local authorities that really don't give a shit about you.
To begin with, you got to deal with the
Right.
people on the ship,
Correct.
and they mentioned
the security
they're paid
force.
by the cruise line.
Yes.
So
And I meant to look and see, like we were talking about, because a lot of the things about the timelines come into the door clicks, right? When you use your card to get that registers, but when you open the door to go out, it does not register. We were wondering if the things changed since then.
I bet it has.
Because some of the timelines you can verify a couple things, but not when they leave the rooms and stuff like that.
Well,
so that's a big thing
no,
too.
I guess still it might not be like that. But I mean,
Yeah, it's an electronic thing that your key cards
your key card
registers.
Yeah,
But when
and
it just makes contact, it doesn't. Or I guess it's a magnet thing.
It's a trip.
But it should.
yeah,
It should.
because it seemed like they knew whose card did what
Yes.
on the way in.
So
I don't know, but they
that's-
need to work on it.
I agree. And that's what I mean. Like, at least you'll know when the doors have been opened. Now, of course, you don't have a camera. You can't spy on people and have a camera in there. But
And-
you do know at least when it's opened. But they don't really-
Cameras, I'm sure, are all over them today.
Yeah, in the
Way
hallways for
better
sure.
than they were in '98.
Yeah, there was some of that stuff.
And-
They found nothing on any of the footage.
Yep.
It didn't look like she ever left the room.
But they did luck up because there was a first off, the parents were both insurance salesmen, and they won that trip, that cruise,
Oh, yeah.
and they were able to take their kids with
Reminds me
them.
of my job. Because we have a cruise you can win.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome. You'll end up winning it.
No, I would have. Yeah, I'm not
Um,
going. I'm not flying nowhere.
And there happened to be another company had rewarded a guy with a cruise as long as he like filmed.
Oh
some
yeah, that's
stuff.
right. He was the film guy, right?
Yeah, so he just happened to have been shooting footage at the dance club, the disco,
Yep.
on the ship that night that she was that she went missing. And he got some footage. He went back and looked. Once he saw the flyer, he was like,
Oh, I know her.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
so
right.
he goes through his tapes and he finds a couple of spots where he had got her on film dancing with this yellow guy.
Yeah.
And he said that he told the FBI, or first off,
Yeah,
he
the
told
security people asked him for his master tapes. He said no.
No way.
But he made a copy of that and gave it to the FBI. Right. Because the
Yes.
FBI did get involved, but there's only so much they can do from from having the authority to do so.
Which
in
is
those
kind of
areas.
weird to me that the ship, people,
Yes.
security team demanded his master tapes.
Right. And it could be just that even if it's not something nefarious, it's just them covering their asses, I'm sure. Because, they're.
I'm not saying that I'm like some sleuth or anything. I know the documentary kind of guides you along. But I will say very early in the documentary when the brothers talking, and the mom too, I think, they were talking about when they were first on the ship and they went out eating and the wait staff was super attentive to her and almost flirtatious and everything. And I jumped all over that in my mind. Like, okay, let's just say that there is some kind of sex trafficking thing going on here.
Yeah.
There could be a team of people working together.
Absolutely.
Involved. It made me think too, Chris, this whole sex trafficking thing, it's really, I know it's been around, but talked about, this is a new phenomenon. This is a 21st century phenomenon where everybody talks about it and everybody suspects that that's what's happened to somebody when they go missing.
Yeah, that's right. Because I guess in our day, when we always back in my day, it was just like you were missing but you were killed or as a ransom.
Yeah.
There was lots of ransoms.
Yep.
You never thought about being, trafficking for those activities.
No.
So yeah, that's a new thing. Even though, like you said, it was probably one of the main reasons.
Yeah.
That we, stranger danger. You remember stranger danger?
Yes.
But yeah, so that's a big theory, obviously, there, because that's where it starts to kick into some of the other things that we started getting in episodes. There's three episodes, about 45 apiece, I believe. So at the end of the little twist at the end of the first one that catches you, is like, okay, she went missing. Could she have jumped? Could she have fallen over? Was it an accident with the neighbor? All that stuff. But then you get this guy that's on screen. It's like, yeah, I'm a guy, and I go diving down here in this one spot. It's a very small area. Nobody knows about it. You'd have to want to go there. And I saw where this girl went missing. I was like, well, that can't be right because I saw her 4 months later, and then it goes off.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So here comes the twist. So goes into episode 2, kicks in, and that's where he comes in and kind of picks up where he left off. Yeah, he's this diver, right? He's going to this specific little area to dive.
Yep.
He's on this beach in this particular, I forgot that location. That was not the same island. This was 4 months after the cruise is over.
Right.
And sees her and two dudes walking on this beach and had saw her on the news, I guess because they were still running this story, and said, that's the girl I saw. And he described it as the guy was with her, one of the guys that was with her. They came up like she came up to him like she wanted to say something.
Yep.
I believe is the way he described it. And then the other guy just stared at him. And he said if it wouldn't have been for that, he wouldn't even remembered all this stuff. But he stared at him like, I guess it scared him. And he described it as the bass player.
Sure did.
He just said, that's definitely who was there staring at me on the beach.
Yeah. And I think he took a polygraph.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of polygraphs.
He's the first one to bring up her tattoo.
Yeah, he said that's the same tattoo.
Yeah, and it's kind of a unique tattoo. Maybe not for in the 90s for athletes who play basketball, but it was a Tasmanian devil holding a basketball.
Yeah, spinning a basketball. Yeah,
and he remembered that.
And at that time, she would have still had similar hair. She had fairly short hair. So 4 months later, she would have still had virtually the same haircut, where now later on, when we have some of those pictures come in and stuff, it would have been long and years later and all that stuff. So she would have looked very similar. So that's the first, okay, oh shit, she got off that boat.
Yes.
Now, either she walked off that boat or somebody carried her or put her in something off that boat. Now, again, they didn't line up and wait and watch for her, getting off in the port.
Right.
It's not like they didn't have enough time. They didn't have a picture of her. There wasn't like a staff member going, watching everybody going by. She could have walked off on her own or just right beside somebody. And you would have never known it because they didn't really lock anything down.
Yep.
So that was the first indication, like, okay, well, maybe she did get off, whether it was against her will or not.
And I think it was the second episode where they start setting up this other thing, this other piece to it, where the mom says to her, hey, let's go down and get those pictures they took of us.
Yeah, like the family pictures. And
Yep.
I'm imagining that's like when you're at the restaurant at the beach and they come around and go, and they
what
ask
I
you to buy it.
picture.
Yeah, I'm imagining that's probably what that is. Yeah.
So they go down there, and she was like, the guy says, oh, you, okay, yeah, yours is right over here, and goes over there, and it was not there.
Yeah.
And he said, are you sure somebody else in your party might not have come down here and bought this thing? And they was like, no, can you reprint it? He said, yeah, no problem. So they got the pictures because they show them on the documentary. But that comes back later on at the end of this documentary. We'll talk about.
Yeah, it starts to throw up like the idea that, okay, she's being cased out here.
Exactly.
Because you got the staff kind of showing her more attention. Now, the only question I have about that, again, you don't know how you react in these situations, is the brother's talking about that, right? I mean, is that something he noticed then, or did he think back after all this has happened for 30 years? And
well, I think they noticed it then, honestly, because they made the statement that if we need anything, we might as well have
that's
her
right.
ask
At
for
the time.
it.
That's right. Yeah. So they did notice something there.
That they were just extra friendly.
But then
to her.
again, I don't know, a pretty girl. I mean, if he's got a dude, just a waiter,
And
maybe it's gonna be normal anyway. I don't
maybe
know.
they noticed it, didn't think about it, and later looking back was like,
that's
dude,
what I'm
remember
saying.
that? Yeah, so probably.
Right. Yeah. A little bit of both, probably. But anyway, yeah. So you start to get the idea with these little tiny things that maybe there is something going on where you got a couple people that find these girls on these boats. Because, well, we'll get into that, I guess, with the yellow guy here later with his daughter comes in. But anyway, so that was the first, like, okay, she's been spotted now.
Yep.
Because, at this point, you got open FBI case. It's open with the local authorities down there and the police. Nobody's got the jurisdiction as far as, like, the FBI can't go down there and start, raiding places and stuff like that without.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
When the FBI got involved initially, this was on the first episode.
Yeah.
They went to the room. And
that's right. That's right.
It had already been cleaned.
Which is just crazy to me, by the way.
Changed. Like, they couldn't get any kind of evidence at all.
But her shoes were still there.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't make any sense to me.
And the table was still moved.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that this this ship, this cruise line, we got a missing girl who's been missing now for at least, a few days by the time the FBI gets down there. Because they're still at this port. And they let them go clean the room. Because the parents, by the way, went home.
Yeah.
They said, you just need to go home. There's nothing you can do. What? I mean, I understand you kind of don't know what to do.
Well, they said something about if you continue it'll just be torturous to continue the trip.
Yeah, so they flew home instead of cruising back with the rest of the cruise people, right? So yeah, I guess I get that, but I don't know if I could. I
thought that too.
Leave.
Yeah,
I would have been at least on that island. I don't know. I mean, I don't care if it's legal or not. I don't give a shit about jurisdictions. Anyway, so now you're starting to think, okay, well, something nefarious is going on. She got off the boat or was forced off the boat or whatever. Then I'm trying to think, the second thing was that the taxi guy. There was a taxi guy.
there was. I think it might have been the taxi
when the
guy.
parents went back, because they went back to the island shortly
Yes,
thereafter. So
yes.
this is probably the second guy.
It is.
So they go back to the island and they're trying to do their own research and look for themselves, trying to get, they're putting up flyers and they're talking to people locally, and I think they're putting flyers
I
up
think did a
everywhere.
press conference
And
there.
they're with the police guy because they said, it'd be dangerous if you don't go. And he went with them to these places. So they checked out some places. One specifically said they came across some like shithole that they know they dealt with a lot of drug issues on the island. And he saw a box of Tic Tacs, and
yep.
she loved Tic Tacs or something. Never really went any further with that. She could have been there maybe, or just could have been random. Who knows? But a taxi guy comes up to him and says, "Hey, are you the dad of that missing girl?" Because by the time this is all, I guess the flyers have been around, words out, and he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I can only tell you that your daughter didn't fall off that boat. She didn't, jump off that boat. She's on this island. I hope you find her." And that's all he would say. So that's now number two, who seemed to know that. Oh, and the reason was because he talked to her and she asked about the telephones. She pointed to them and she went the other way.
Yep.
So we're talking about payphones here for you young people.
That's right, man.
Old payphones. So he pointed to a bank of payphones, but she went the opposite way.
That's right.
So that's number two that's apparently seen her. Now, he wasn't in this documentary at all. Like, he was just talked about.
That's right.
So this is the only one I think that wasn't in the documentary that apparently saw her, because the other dude was. So, yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot of time jumps in here. And then it goes, okay, they reached out to America's Most Wanted.
Mm-hmm. They're doing press now and all this stuff. Yeah.
They did a whole segment on her, on America's Most Wanted. And when that happened, or was it Dr. Phil?
Ooh,
but I know
one of the both.
This
Yeah, I don't know which
lady
one was first.
This lady saw her on one of these shows.
Okay, she was watching Dr. Phil.
Okay,
I believe, yes.
Okay,
the lady, yeah.
And she was on a different island. I don't remember which one this was.
Yeah, this is a different name too. This was one was Barbados, but this was not Barbados, was it?
I can't remember.
One was Barbados, but not
that.
Not
might
the
have been
first
it.
Two. Maybe this one was.
And yeah, she was on a different island. Her and her husband
on a
were out
cruise
shopping.
Yeah, they were on a cruise. Yep.
Went into a little shop and went to a bathroom. And while she was in there in the stall, she heard some people come in, and she could hear a man talking.
Mm-hmm.
And so she finally came out of the stall, and there was the woman was in there by herself. And
by the way, this was years later.
I think 4 years.
Yeah, this was like 4 years later.
Yep.
So now we're,
that's what I was saying.
A bunch of time jumps. It is, because after they go back and talk to the guy and they go around the island themselves, there's really nothing else they can do.
The first dude you mentioned saw her on America's Most Wanted, because that was just 6 months later.
Yeah, that was right. That was the
close. America's Most Wanted and was like, "That's the chick I saw on the beach."
That's the chick I saw 4 months after, or weeks after. Yeah.
So 4 years later, she's there on Dr. Phil and
right,
rings the bell with this lady. And she says that she has a conversation with this girl, and she has a Southern accent. These people are from Virginia. And the girl said her name was Amy, and she was from West Virginia.
She thought she said West Virginia.
Yeah, she thought she said West Virginia at the time. And then when she saw Dr. Phil, she heard Virginia and was like, shit,
Yeah.
But yeah, something about the girl came up to her.
They were washing their hands.
Yeah, it was really, she acted like she came up to her like kind of almost aggressive or something.
Yeah, she said, I think the way she put it was, all right, so the guy was like, was talking to her before she came out of the stall.
Mm-hmm.
And then they left, the guys left, and she was over there washing, and she went to wash her hands, and then like was asking her, hey, where you from? What you doing down here? Blah, blah, blah. And she said she kind of got in her face.
Yeah.
Which I thought was odd.
That was odd. But I feel like that implies that she was just scared, like, stop talking to me kind of thing.
Could you see what's going on here?
Yeah. So
and
she's like,
the dudes were saying, by the way, I believe.
Oh, yes.
Like, you're not going to try to leave, are you? You know,
Yeah,
and that's
the
why I
deal's
started,
set up for 11.
yeah, like the deal, right?
Yeah.
And that's what started making me question, like, she knew way, like, almost too much. There was almost too much detail. And again, I'm just saying that, but yeah, so got in her face, kind of aggressive, and then, okay, well, have a go. And then she opens the door. The dude's standing there, blocking her, and she just plays dumb and is like, yeah, sorry, I got to get through, blah, 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 and goes on, and she's fine, and told her husband about it.
And then saw them come out of the bathroom, one person on one side of her, one on the other, and they had her arm.
Yeah, kind of like
Like
escorting her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she definitely thought something was going on there. She didn't know what it was, didn't know what kind of deal it was they were talking about. And then when she saw that Dr.
Yes.
Field special, she reached out to the FBI herself.
Right. So a bunch of, I don't know, what do we call it, post-mortem sightings.
Telling you, man.
Not post-mortem technically, but you know what I mean? Like after the fact, people are recalling these things that they thought about, but they didn't know who or what. And then, so now you got like, you're starting to think, okay, well, shit, something's going on here, right? Because you got several different people. And then on top of that, I don't know, then this was this the last one or like the middle one? There's another guy who's in the Navy. Mm-hmm. And he's on one of these islands. And then again, this is not, I think that lady was on Barbados, because I think this was not Barbados. He's on, he's got some shore leave, I suppose, and he's apparently by himself, which I thought was odd right there for a Navy dude.
Well, he said he was 17 years in at the time.
Yeah, he was about to retire, but he goes to some like inland bar. Mm-hmm. He sees 2 girls and 2 dudes, I believe it was 2 girls for sure. And they come in this bar, and he said it's pretty far inland. It wasn't like it wasn't very welcoming. He saw a guy had a gun. You know, when he walks in, he's like, I want to go get some beers. He's like, okay. And he goes in anyway, I guess. He saw the guy that came in with these girls that had a gun in his pants or whatever. So he sat with these 2 girls. The dude went up to, maybe the dude and the girl, or I'm not sure. The dude went up to the bar or something, if I remember correctly. And then she started talking like something was wrong. Oh, I need to get out of here. I owe them like $200 or something weird. But now I'm kind of stuck with them or something. It was weird, if I remember that correct. So Navy guy, and then he said he's been to all these other places, which I've heard these stories from our Navy buddies too. And you were in the Navy too. But I mean, we've heard from Phil and my other buddy Brian and several other people that heard these stories. He said he's been to all these other places, red light districts, so to speak, and heard it all. So he didn't make a big deal out of it at the time. But she didn't say something like, hey, I'm an American, I need help here. It was just like, I owe them money.
Right.
Weird.
But at the time, and that's something that the documentary did good of tying up closer to the end, was we have to think about how much time has gone by in her world.
Right. That's true.
While she, you know, and her dad even mentioned like
Stockholm syndrome. Yep.
Things like that.
Exactly. You start to identify with your captors.
Yeah. And you never know, man. So this made me think about the weirdest thing happened to me. And I told you about it when it happened. I might have actually mentioned it on one of the podcasts, but I was just flipping through, this is when I was in the apartment, flipping through documentaries on Amazon. Mm-hmm. And I happened, you know, I love true crime. So I saw one about a Navy SEAL who had committed murder. And I watch it, and it was these 2 Navy SEALs who got in trouble for murdering a girl. And one of them,
this sounds familiar,
I was in boot camp with.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Billy Brown.
Oh, and maybe you have mentioned that.
They showed his picture on there.
When you said his name.
And I was like, holy shit. What are the odds? Like,
right.
I went and got my pictures out, my book out, and looked, and I'm like, dude, that is him. I can't believe the odds of this. So then once I saw him in the documentary, the memories from 1993 came back to my mind of our interactions together and stuff.
Right.
So I can see how something can trigger
Yeah.
something you hadn't thought about in forever, and it
And
comes back pretty clear.
I have a very similar situation, as you know, with old teacher or teacher slash co-training partner of mine. That was just out of this world, unbelievable still. But yeah, that's weird. I think you definitely mentioned that before when you said Billy. That reminded me. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, so things can trigger stuff. Like, I know it seems weird when somebody has like a interaction with somebody and you're like, how do they remember that? You know, but you never know what. Like I was saying, my cousin came over last night and he unlocked memories you know, for me just by bringing up some things and stuff I hadn't thought about in forever.
Right.
But you never know what's going to trigger something in your mind, man. And I felt like that Navy guy definitely said he took a polygraph.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So that's now the Navy guy. And so with that, though, just to wrap that up, I guess, in case I didn't, so he just basically left.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. He never said anything.
He said he's seen it all before.
He's seen it all, heard it all. And he was,
he was trying to
get out of the Navy. Because he wasn't supposed to be there. It was the illegal bar, he called it. So he's trying not to get, reprimanded, and he wants to graduate. He wants to retire honorably, all that stuff. He didn't want to be deranked and demoted and all that stuff. So he said he kept quiet, but he then again saw it on, whether it was this documentary they was doing or whatever he saw it on. Everything, like all the news articles and the maybe the true crime stuff, whatever, keeps kind of bringing these people out of the woodwork, the magazines, all that stuff, which is why you do media. This is why you spread the word and you do documentaries. I'm sure that's why they did this documentary, because somebody, if she did not self-delete or accidentally get thrown overboard at some random time at 5:30 in the morning on a smooth sea that I think they were just going into port really slow, no major rocking and storms. It's a giant city. You know how these boats are. They're not rocking.
And her friend said she could drink with the best of them.
Yeah.
So it ain't like
she ain't falling over.
And,
so I don't, But if so now you got all these options here of, okay, well, she got off that boat and now we've got people, she's been seen with these dudes and with, by the way, this yellow guy. And that's what happens in part 3. The last of them is all of a sudden his daughter, who's now older and has her own daughter.
Well, before that.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
The internet starts coming around.
Yes, the internet. We're in the 90s. We're in the late 90s. So.
And so
that's right.
They had all these
websites.
Yes, websites created about her, and
the early true crime sleuths is what started popping up. Yeah,
and they got an email years later that was like Amy Bradley leads or something like that, clues or something, and it was pictures.
Well, yeah, the website, the big website that got put up by this guy who's in the documentary, who is like an early, like he had to be like, I bet he's rich now as a true crime podcast somewhere. He's got to be one of the starting 1998 or 9 or something. He puts up a website, AmyBradleyIsMissing.com. Like he used the web at that time. 98's very young for the web. So that's when you started having the message boards and the all that stuff on this website. It became kind of the hub for this case, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Yeah,
but they got a legit email.
Yeah.
And these pictures, and somebody had sent these pictures, 2 pictures to them of a girl who they said looked like her. Was
in a directory of sorts.
A directory
like of girls.
Of prostitution.
Yep, that you would pick from.
Yep. And the mom absolutely thought it was her daughter, and these years have gone by.
Yeah.
And when I looked at the pictures, I was like, damn, dude, I swear it looks like her.
It does.
They sent them to the FBI. They did all these measurements, facial measurements and stuff, and they feel like it looked like her and everything.
Yeah, they can't say with any, I don't think they gave a percentage or anything, but their specialist in this stuff said that they think it's her.
Yeah.
They didn't say like 80%, nothing like that, but they think it's her.
Yep.
I think it's her.
And I mean, you can describe the other deal with the websites whenever they were starting to track traffic on them.
Yeah,
and stuff.
so that's what's cool, and I kind of knew this because this is what I did.
That was
This
pretty
is-
cool stuff.
Yeah, when you have a forum, especially these old school forums, but still to this day, if you have a forum, I told you this about when I had my old martial arts forums and my school open.
Yep.
I could see who was on there from what state because I
where.
could see their IP
Yep.
addresses and it would tell me their locations. And I mean in the damn city they're in. You know, it's not going to tell me their house address, but
And I thought that was genius thing to look at.
yes.
Because,
So
yeah, go ahead.
no, yeah, on this website was they could see they started thinking about, and this is with the guy who first saw her on the beach, the diver. Mm-hmm. He got up with this.
That's right. It was him.
Yeah, he got up with in combination with this kind of young kid who
younger
started
guy.
the website, and he was like a true crime buff already. So he said, "Send me the data," because he's a data guy. He was already an early data analyst or whatever. That's what he did for a living. So instead of just looking at like the post, he wants to see like what's actually going on here. So the data is like the IP addresses, the MAC addresses if that's recorded, whatever, from where they're coming from, where the traffic's coming from. Is somebody because serial killer things, they often show up at the location or at the funeral,
Yep.
at the crime scenes, or at a press conference, and those type. They're looking for things like that. So anyway, on this website, they get the IP addresses. One of these IP addresses is down there, I believe it in Barbados. And it's not just that it's, because everybody knows that around there too.
Right.
But this keeps revisiting this site and specifically hanging out longer than usual
On certain
on
pictures.
certain days, on certain pictures like
Yep.
birthdays, Christmas,
Yep.
Thanksgiving. And the idea was, okay, this could be her.
It could have been.
And she has access to the internet now, and she's kind of checking in, and she's looking at these specific pictures, checking in on her parents. Are they still alive? What do they look
Yes.
like? What does my brother look like now? So that's another kind of possibility they threw out there, but they didn't really follow through on it. They couldn't really ever verify who that was.
It made a lot of sense.
It does.
The thought process does.
Yeah, of course.
Because like you said, yes, killers or kidnappers might be checking in to see if there's any new leads or whatever,
Yes.
but the pictures and the dates and all that.
Right,
it
and
really
how long they're
felt
hanging
like-
out.
Yeah.
So the idea was either it's somebody that knows what happened and they're trying to see if there's any new stuff going on, or it's her checking in on her family in some way. Even if she don't want to be found, she's still got that. There's still some connection there,
Yeah.
obviously. And she's like checking in or on birthdays, and she's getting reminded of things or whatever it is. And she's hanging out. It's not just like I'm reading a post and I'm scrolling through and then I'm left like most people.
Yes.
Because I've seen that with my stuff in the past, but this is like hanging out on the page for a while, like longer than usual. So
And the time and everything,
yeah,
like we said.
interesting
it's
that
just-
it could be,
really is. And then, yes, go to what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. And then it's like, and that's what I liked about how they did the documentary. They reel you back in, and then they throw you another curveball. So now you've heard this whole series about this bass player in the band who she was dancing with, and he was kind of grinding up on her in the pictures, the video and whatever, and he was the one that stared at the guy and all that stuff. But now his daughter is grown up and has her own child, I believe. They didn't show her, but she mentioned her daughter. So his daughter is now questioning things because she has now heard about this as she's gotten older, and her mom left him when he came back, from that cruise, apparently. And of course, this started making the news. And he had like a suitcase full of pictures of these American girls.
Yep.
And she always had a question. Basically, her mom had said, this guy's wife had said that he was completely different when he came back from that one. And she left him. And so that always stuck with her. And then as she got older, the daughter now, who was on this documentary, started asking about it, like, what's going on with this Amy something girl? What happened with that? because everything about he's mentioned in the same sentence now,
That's right.
and everything on the news, because that's the only known person that danced with her and all that stuff. And so he would get mad every time she brought it up, which I can kind of understand that too. But
yeah, if you're innocent,
if you're
damn
innocent,
right.
I mean, you're like, okay, come on now, especially your own daughter. So she calls him on air, on the documentary, calls him up, and he talks. And you come to find out that, because they never really had answered that before, he was questioned. He took a polygraph, inconclusive on that, but he continued to work for the cruise for 2 years.
Yeah.
So how is he walking beaches and different islands with this girl and pimping her, and also working on the cruise playing bass?
That's
so then
true.
it comes back to like, well, fuck. Did she jump or did she fall? Because was all that made up, or was it just not him? Was it somebody that looked like him? So he starts now. Okay, now I'm questioning everything I was just told.
I took it as the ship didn't care too much.
Yeah,
and
no,
let him keep working.
I agree with that for sure.
And the way they said, they don't think they vetted their employees
Correct.
that good.
Right.
And I thought it was really cool. The cliffhanger going into the third one was his daughter leaving her parents a message, a voicemail, saying,
yes,
I'm his daughter.
So what James is saying is that the yellow girl's daughter is calling Amy's parents.
Yes.
On there, and leaves a voicemail. Yes, on their answer machine.
It made me feel the thing we just talked about the website.
Yeah.
And her leaving the message. It made me feel like if anybody in your family ever goes missing, keep your phone number.
Yes.
Always, keep the same number you had the whole time, whether you ever use your house phone or what, and keep updating those websites.
Yes. 100%.
Like if you just let one just wilt away, it won't get traffic. But if you're constantly updating it with pictures and new information and stuff,
you're keeping it alive.
Yeah,
you're feeding the beast and you're keeping it alive.
If your loved one is out there, they're gonna always remember that phone number.
Correct.
And they can always go to that website and
like they said, yeah, exactly. They can always get in touch. And like they said, people can't keep secrets forever if there's something nefarious going on. Yes. I mean, somebody will eventually speak. The conscious will get to somebody. Somebody knows something somewhere. Somebody will decide, on their deathbed, before they can't die without saying something. Okay, I know what happened to this girl, or whatever it is. People have to talk. It's just like ingrained. That's why we talk about conspiracies so much. That's why I'm kind of the more anti-conspiracy, because I know people have to talk at some point. So
yeah, they do.
They do. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. And you keep the number for sure.
And I love the way the documentary made you think about her, if she's still alive and she could have kids now.
Yeah.
And maybe that new little family she's got is still being threatened or whatever, and she doesn't want to cause harm to them.
I feel weird about that, though.
It's weird to think about those dynamics.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I was saying at the end of that, when they were saying, like, even the brother and the parents, and remember Mom was saying, like, if she's got kids now, I'd love to find her and them and bring them into the family, but I just can't really grasp. And again, I can't put myself in the headspace of somebody who was abducted, right, and threatened. Mm-hmm. I can't believe that she would have internet access and has seen several people and didn't directly say something just because somebody was threatened, because it's a hell you're living in anyway. They're living in hell anyway.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know. I can't buy that you don't say something or try to make contact.
I agree, especially the fact that she was 23,
right?
When it happened.
Yes,
and because I always go back to that one case where they made that movie. I know my name is Steven. I know my first name is Steven. About that kid who got abducted, and he lived with this guy for like all these years, up until he became a teenager, and went to school. He hung out with kids in the neighborhood and stuff, and he never told, he never did anything. Tried to escape. Like, he could come and go from the house as he pleased. He assumed that new identity, but he was kidnapped when he was a little tiny
Right.
boy.
He thought it was normal.
And
exactly.
he had been taught to believe his parents didn't want him and hated him and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And then when that guy kidnapped another little boy is when he finally was like, enough is enough. I don't want this kid to go through what I went through.
Right.
Is when he escaped.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's very odd that, I get the idea what they're saying, you got, a lot of people times they'll threaten your family. If you say something or try something, if you say anything, whatever, we'll go kill your family and whatever. But you don't really, do you believe that anymore? And how long is enough? You know what I'm saying? If she wanted to be gone, which I don't buy based off everything, because they kind of brought at the very end, they brought in kind of the secret girlfriend. The love, right?
Yeah,
the
they
real
did.
love. That's the way I felt like it. The way
did
she
too,
was.
yeah.
She was super emotional, and she had wrote this literally letter in a bottle. Like, it was so ironic that was what
I agree.
this last letter, because they had this relationship, had plans, and Amy fucked it up somehow by kissing another girl, and maybe she cheated on her. They didn't really go far into that, but she wrote her this letter trying to say, look, please forgive me. I know you're never going to forget, but, rescue me from this island I'm on. That was kind of the motif.
Yep.
And literally sent her a letter in a bottle, an actual bottle, and then went on this cruise. And then you find out about all that stuff. Like, she kind of fucked up and was talking to this other chick they had talked to earlier. This was the girl she was dating, I guess, more seriously. But then, like I said, they kind of reel you back in and say, we did get together right before this, like 2 weeks before the cruise. She was super excited about it. She wanted me to see her apartment and this dog she had gotten, and we were going to make it work. We decided we were going to make it work. So she had hope.
And like you said, that she sent her a postcard.
She sent her a postcard from one of the islands, one of the ports.
Saying, wish you were here and all this stuff.
Yeah, so it wasn't like she was like miserable and whatever. She was hopeful going into that trip.
She really was.
So it takes away the idea that she, like I said, self-deleted.
I agree.
But then it's like, okay, but she's not trying at all. Like, I don't know. It's just so. I'm so
hard.
conflicted about it.
What these true crime things always mess me up when I see people who will, make a false confession.
Yes,
And people
Bobby
do some
Dassey.
of the weirdest things, man.
it is. It's so weird, dude. I mean, and again, like I said, I can't put myself in the mind. I'm always trying to think logically.
I am too.
You can't put yourself in the
It's
mindset,
hard.
but especially in modern day, that, like I know that dude in Barbados or wherever can't get access to my parents. He don't have the network for that. It's just, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know. I just feel like you would, if you didn't want to be there, and again, I don't have any reason for her to want to be there.
I just thought of this.
Go ahead.
What if?
Uh-oh, we got it.
What if
we
she
solved
did?
it. We solved it.
She did
Or
live,
James solved it.
and all those people did see her.
Mm-hmm.
But then she aged out. Like, they couldn't use her anymore.
Oh,
Nobody
so-
wanted to be with her.
Yeah,
so then they offer. Do you see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why
yes.
nobody's heard from her.
You're
Maybe-
absolutely correct.
Maybe they got rid of her before she got the courage to reach out.
Yeah, but now how long would that have been?
I don't know.
Yeah, because we're 50 now.
Yeah.
So what year would that be? I don't know.
Well,
you're right.
When
though.
would rich people quit paying? Or I don't know. Is it rich people or what? I don't know.
I don't know about down there.
Yeah. When do people?
Yeah. What's your?
I know guys. 8 to 80.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they always say.
880. That's right. No, I would imagine, again, just based off, recent political activities and events that we won't get into
Yes.
here, that is probably
Good point.
younger.
Good point.
Probably a little younger.
Yeah.
But
That's what I think.
that's a good point, though, that, but again, because the last contact, again, was this lady, right?
I think.
Or Yeah, the lady who was on another cruise 4 years later. So nobody's physically seen her since that lady, if she
Wow.
actually saw her.
Yeah.
So, and so I don't know how long that website went on with that traffic, or
either.
the same person coming back from that IP address or whatever. That IP address is eventually going to change, but it still should be in the same location, so you can't really confirm it's the same person. Eventually, they will refresh their IPs, so we didn't get how long that happened. A lot of holes and missing information they just don't have because they don't have the jurisdiction to go, scout out the place. I would as a parent. I'm going down there with private people. I'm hiring who I can. I'm gonna be down there scoping out, hot spots for hookers and clubs and whatever. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna try. I'm saying that as at least.
Yeah.
I think I would. I think I'd do everything in my power.
Like on the movie Taken.
Yeah.
When she
I have a certain set of skills.
Yeah. She's taken to like being a sex traffic thing.
Yeah.
And
Right.
yeah, if only Amy's dad was Liam Neeson.
Exactly. But it's so, I don't know, man. There's so many possibilities, but it's like you start to get the sightings are like, okay, she definitely, she got taken. But then they can't verify, like, the one thing I don't know if we even mentioned, the girls. We didn't even mention the girls.
Never
Big
mentioned
point here. Sorry.
That is a huge
Shit.
point. Yeah.
With the guy, with the bass player Yella. I'm saying Yella like DJ Yella, not Yellow. Okay, so that night, she goes back to the room, according to the log of when they used the key with brother, about 3:30 it was, or 2:30? 2:30, something like that. He went first, and she came after. These two girls said that they saw her about 5:30 in the morning, going back up with the guy up the elevator to the now closed dance floor or club area, and then he came back down by himself and just walked right by them on the top deck. And these two girls are sitting out by themselves on the top deck of the ship.
They said he had been flirting with them later
And didn't say a
earlier in
word
the
then.
night.
Right.
And when he walked by them, he didn't even acknowledge them.
Right. So it's like, okay, that would have fit the timeline of when maybe she came back out of the room. Did
It
she just
would've.
wake up and decide to leave and leave her shoes?
Well, they never said she went to sleep. They said
That
she
is true.
stayed out there.
That is true. Yeah, but she would have been out there. I don't think she would have had a phone in 1998 on the balcony, right? She ain't have no cell phone. So she's not sitting out there, and she said she felt sick or something. She wanted fresh air. I'm assuming she fell asleep. But anyway, the problem with that is again, the key card. So they go back to their room, and they didn't have their key, so they had to knock late or early, I should say. And they even commented on how her mom, one of their moms, said how early or late it was, so they didn't get the register of when they went back in the room to verify that time.
Right.
They were drunk. They could have saw her at 2:30.
That's right.
You just don't know.
You don't
So you
know.
cannot verify any of these times.
And
to
it's
really
frustrating.
It is.
But
'cause
it's true.
you can't put together, like, you can't rely on that, so you can't really act on it. So this guy gets questioned, and he says, no, I went to my room. And his key card says he went to his room. Now, he could have walked right back out,
Yep.
but he also would have had to go back in, and he didn't. They didn't mention that anyway.
They didn't mention
Missing
it.
information.
I thought about that when I was
Yeah, me
watching it.
too. So he was in his room when he said, or at least his door opened when he said, or his key card opened it. So yeah, it's like, I don't know if I had to draw. What conclusion would you draw if you had to just guess in your most likely scenario? What would it be? It's hard to say.
Yeah. My honest guess would be, one person said that, I don't remember who said this, but she left the boat on her own to go
Oh yeah, the drug
get
deal.
drugs
Yeah,
for her and her brother.
That was. You're right. That was, who was that? She told them directly that she left to get some drugs, and who the hell was that?
So see, she could have left on her own and the same outcome happened because they say that island was rough.
Correct. And that's why the cop there said, the parents had to ride with him. 'Cause
Yeah.
essentially what they were saying was they're going to
She
kill
was-
white. They're going to kill you because you're white.
Yep.
That's what they was saying
That's what he
without
was
saying it.
But if she went out naively,
Yeah.
thinking I'm going to go to a rougher part and get a taxi driver to take me to a rougher part to score some drugs.
Right.
The same outcome could have happened. She could have
Right,
got
and it
kidnapped.
had nothing to do with Yellow.
Nothing with him.
Yeller, old Yeller. DJ
I
Yellow.
don't know. I feel like
But then again, you go back to like, okay, she's in her room with her brother. She's already went basically to bed on her balcony. You get up at 5:30 and go, yeah, let me go grab some weed. I don't know.
well,
maybe.
I don't think she fell asleep. I've never thought that. I feel
So you
like
think she was laying there awake the whole time?
yeah. And I feel like
Just
from
chilling.
3:30 to 5:30, she just sat there smoking cigarettes and chilling and thinking, and probably concocted a plan, to either go hook up with Yellow or go maybe score some drugs from him or
Well, see,
whatever.
that I came back and thought about that too because did she want to hook up with him?
Maybe.
She was gay,
Yes, that's true.
but maybe she wanted to. I don't know.
Yeah.
Taste taste the rainbow. I don't know. So I mean, all those things come into play.
I don't know. I would never bet my life on any of it, on any of those people's memories or anything. I do
No.
believe those people saw a girl.
Oh,
who,
yeah.
Who
Sure.
caused them to maybe
Yeah.
make it her in their memory.
Maybe when I edit this podcast, I'll find those pictures of her. If I can put those up, can I?
That's a good idea.
Can I put those up? Maybe they're not like explicit. They show a little skin, but they're not.
Yeah.
I don't think they're bad. If not, I can blur everything but the face. But maybe because I mean, they didn't prove that was her.
She had a slight little lazy eye, and
Yeah.
so did the woman in those pictures.
Yeah, they definitely had the measurements and the nose and the little things they show you in the documentary. It definitely looks like her with longer hair they make these girls pose and for their little directories or whatever. So they're taking pictures. It's not like she purposely, she's happy. She is smiling, but it's a fake ass, I'm here because I have to be smile, probably. But again, it's not definitive proof it is her.
The crazy thing for me is this. The thing had me thinking so much about the trafficking industry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And like, there's only a few reasons you would kidnap somebody. Like one, you're a kidnapper who likes to, do horrible things to somebody, and that's your reward.
Right. Yeah.
The other, you're going to kidnap somebody you think that their loved ones has money, and you're going to ransom them.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the other is there's somebody who has money who's going to pay you to literally go out and hunt vulnerable girls who that you think are attractive enough that somebody would pay for later, right? For sexual pleasure.
Right.
Okay. So money would be the reason you would kidnap somebody. You're going to kidnap them, bring them back to this person, and they're going to give you money, and then they're going to take them and do whatever with them, right?
Correct.
Okay. Dude, where do they find these people who are go out and hunt people?
I know.
'Cause I was
I
raised
know.
around poor people,
I know.
and they've never been desperate enough to take another human.
Yeah, and it's a culture thing.
Has to be.
It's a culture thing, which is why that we can't identify with shit like that. Because this happens in other countries, and they come here to do it. That culture. It's 100% a culture thing where you
has
don't
to be a
you
culture
don't
thing.
value life. Period.
That's
Period.
right.
They're objects.
Doesn't mean you don't love your own kids and family,
right.
but when you don't have that empathy or
you
whatever,
can somehow separate that from, you just see it as a business.
exactly.
That's all. There's no to it.
I'll never understand
It's
it.
culture. That's another thing that goes in. Again, we won't get off on a crazy soapbox here, but it goes into a lot of stuff we talk about on this podcast and in life in general. Is people will make things about race. They'll make things about income levels and all that. Sometimes it's fucking culture.
Yeah.
It's how that society, what that society accepts as normal.
And that's what bothers me about
Yes.
people not caring to vet immigrants anymore.
Well, that's the gist of it, right?
Like,
That's
why,
exactly
why
what
would you know
That's
that
exactly
they
right.
come from a culture that values things differently than us,
right.
and you're just gonna let them come in here and just disappear off.
And they try to make it
into-
about race and shit, and it's not at all. I don't want to hear any bullshit. I mean, again, this is not political, not to get political, but I don't want to hear any bullshit about. When we're talking about, we all agree and we all need and want legal immigration.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hear any bullshit about everybody, there's borders and all that stuff. We shouldn't be borders and whatever. If you own a door on your fucking house,
Yeah.
and you own a fence, or you lock your car, then don't say a fucking word about there shouldn't be any borders.
Yeah.
You need to bullshit.
If you literally know the boundary of your yard
Exactly.
and honor it at all.
Right. If you lock your doors at night and you're not, whatever, then don't say a word, because that's the same principle. You don't know. And stop making it about race and shit all the time. It's not.
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
It's not-
It's just that these people, these islands down there, they're tourist areas. A lot of Americans and other people from other world go there. And, now it may start because of, them not having a lot of money, and they have slums and those type of things. And so the culture is born around that. We can take advantage of these people, right? We can take their stuff, because you know how it is. You've heard all the stories about going to certain places and your luggage or your money, or you get their scams and all of the things. So that's what it's born around. But it's the culture.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with the race.
And I mean,
So, anyway.
I know that there have been people visiting America
Yeah.
and from another country and get murdered, or something horrible happens to them while they're here visiting. I know that happens.
Sure.
But this does seem to be what we're talking about here, about just going out and hunting down somebody and taking them alive to put them into something, this trafficking ring or whatever. It's
soulless.
That's different. It is.
It's soulless. It's just I can't even imagine being in that headspace. I can't even imagine. You don't have a soul to do anything like that to anybody.
And I think they're victims as well of circumstance. I think people hunt them down too and know their living conditions and like say, I'll give you X amount of dollars for this and that, and it's probably life-changing amounts of money.
Well, I'm sure
down
it's
there.
kind of like you remember Saul and the first Saul, and you had the guy watching from the screens.
Yes,
and the first Saul,
the very first
one, and then you find out that you think he's the bad, because you don't know who the bad guy is yet, right? In Saul, you just know it's like Jigsaw, this whatever, but it ends up being that he's also part of his own game, because his family's in danger.
That's right.
And he's the one who got the doctor
That's
involved, right? So I believe it's a lot of that stuff,
You remember
too.
the movie Hostel?
Yeah.
These rich people paying to do horrible stuff to people.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This makes my brain just jump to all over the place trying to figure out the mindset of these weird people.
You can't even put yourself in that headspace at all. It doesn't even register, So I don't know, but anyway, as far as what would did you finish? I don't know if you don't think you did. We got off on a tangent
on what I think.
Yeah, if you had to just guess,
If I had to guess,
again, I know you don't have to. We
think-
wouldn't bet on it, but yeah.
Yes, I think she was kidnapped.
You think she would, like, as in on the boat, or like cased?
That's where I kind of feel like it was a team effort.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know, dude. I could go either way. I don't think she just fell over the boat.
I don't either.
I just don't buy that. I don't think she jumped over the boat either, because I don't feel. Now, again, we don't know the full story.
We
there.
don't, and
we really don't know.
I do have to say that we don't know, and you never know somebody's headspace.
That's right. It doesn't matter what the friends and family say; they don't really know everything that was going on in her life, in her head. She could have sat out there for 2 hours, like you said, smoking, and been like, "You know what? Fuck this. This is never going to happen with this girl." And she smoked her last cigarette and just took them with her and just said, "Choop." And
who's to say she didn't go make a phone call at a payphone, have a horrible argument with somebody, get her heart broken or something, and then go do it? and that person's never going
Right.
to admit to that conversation happening.
No, exactly. Because, but the other part, so I do think that there is a possibility of that, just because we don't know her
We
in
don't know.
space.
That's
You
right.
just can't. But at the same time, there are, are all 4 people mistaken or lying?
I know.
I mean, I believe they
And-
saw somebody. Whether it was her, I don't know. There's lots of Americans that go on these trips.
And that police chief seemed pretty certain if she did jump or
Mhm.
fall,
That they
in,
would have found
They
her.
would have found something.
Yeah, because they've had it happen apparently. And I guess he would know more about his waters in that area than
Yeah.
I would. So I believe that for sure. Now, is it 100% that
No.
somebody washes up? No,
No, not 100%.
never. So yeah, I don't know. I would. I just also can't buy that if she's in a fairly decent headspace and you assume that she, whether she's got problems, everybody's got problems, but I just can't believe that she can't make some type of contact with somebody or say something directly. Like, look, my name is Amy. You see me on the news. Help. Here's where I am. Whatever. I don't know. It's weird.
I will say this. I wouldn't lean so much to kidnapping if it wasn't for those pictures. So I hope you can post them.
Yeah, I'll try to grab those. I'll try to find them and see, because those are certainly. Now, of course, if that's her, that would answer the question. You just don't know
It
the
would
details.
answer it. I just feel like
100%
it
answer the
looks
question.
so much like her.
It
that
does.
then
But it's hard to
I add
also
on the other
imagine
people.
age plus hair plus
Yeah,
all
it
that.
is.
It's not perfect. It's not a perfect science, but they do believe that was her, as far as at least at that time, the FBI people.
And if I can't lie that I didn't think this, if she did get kidnapped and sold into that sex trafficking, knowing that she was gay, that's an extra layer of hell for her.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you mean
Because
like
you're
the
not
kid,
selling her to other chicks.
like the kid, right?
You
Well,
know what
maybe,
I'm saying? Maybe. I don't know.
You saying the kidnapper's no one?
No, I'm just
Or
saying
her- just
for
her in her own
being
head, yeah,
gay and then being forced to have sex with all these dudes over
Yeah.
and over and in. That's hell on earth.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, again, and I don't want to. I want to repeat that too. That I can't imagine, because I keep saying like, how can she not make contact or at least try to leave or run away, or she's going to say something directly to somebody instead of some code, because if she has a chance to speak to somebody and she's trying to like say something, because she told the guy like something weird, like I'm stuck with these guys, owe them $200. If you're alone, I don't understand why you don't say, again, my name's Amy, I need help. But she did say her name.
Think about this though. There
But
are
again,
girls-
I can't say like what they told her, what they threatened. I can't say. I don't know.
and there are girls in the United States who like run away to California and get turned out on the street as a prostitute, wind up homeless on the street, used up, and still never call home for help. They just wander the streets and do drugs and
I
live
know.
on the side of the road. And you're like, why don't they call their family? And it's like, I don't know. Do people reach a certain point in their mind where they're like, I'm too fucking damaged now?
Yeah, I don't
fuck their
know.
life up?
That's what I mean. I cannot imagine it. Yeah, I can't imagine ever being to that point. But yeah, I know I've seen that too. Where I don't know. I left home at 16.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what would make a girl who's fairly, again, seemingly happy, seemingly got into a better headspace, came out, got that over with, still had a good relationship with her parents, had the girlfriend renewed, interest there, and seemed really excited about the thing she wrote, the card, the I don't know. I just don't see it, but I don't really know.
Two things. Well, just one real footnote for me that really made me sad was the brother. It ruined his relationship.
I said the same thing. Yes,
I
everybody
felt
said
bad
that.
for him.
Yeah, he's
never
like-
had kids.
He's 49 now, our age, or close to, right at our age, and said like, and I said that out loud when he said, I was like, oh shit, dude, you missed out. And I understand what
too.
he's saying though. I said, dude, you missed out.
It
'Cause
ruined his
he-
life.
He basically has not been in a relationship. He's scared to get close to somebody, and
Yep.
and was scared to. I mean, I don't know if he has a actual like a girlfriend or wife or whatever, but no kids because he was
kids.
afraid of losing that, you know, of losing a kid.
And he was dating the girl who was house sitting. I didn't know that
that's
till
right.
the end.
That's right. And they broke up because of that.
Up. Yeah, it's too heavy for
I guess
the girl to deal with.
Yeah, that's got to be rough, man. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's just such an odd thing. It's like there's things that point in this direction and this direction and this direction. There's things that point to, again, we don't know her headspace. She could have jumped over the thing, said "fuck it" the last minute, and
That's
even
right.
though everything seemed okay,
That's exactly.
she
right.
could have got yanked. She could have left at a very odd time. Decided to go. I'm gonna go get some weed on this island.
Yeah.
I don't know how because they couldn't leave the boat till they opened the dock and let them out.
It's a good point.
So was she doing waiting at the door, and why?
Maybe Yellow put her on a skiv or what they call
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
You know, like I said, if a couple things were different, like that key card from the girls who saw him or them go up the elevator, if that time was registered,
yes,
that would make it more clear.
yes.
I mean, those little things, a couple little things. So that's why I question. The only reason I question, like, did that dude and the girl, the lady and the taxi driver see her? Because we can't verify, because they don't know if they saw her, but what time? They were on the boat. Of course it was her. But on the island, there's lots of people to see.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird.
You
can't, yeah. It's hard to nail down for this one. And I hope there's answers. I hope there's a breakthrough. I hope she's out there okay. I just can't imagine her wanting to be there and not reach out, especially after a documentary like this and the world's.
It's a really quick binge that's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that. You know, I just watched it today because Chris told me about it.
Yeah,
and
I watched it last.
It
night,
went
finished
really
last
good.
Night, yeah, or whenever I text you, that night. Watched the first two and then finished the last one. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird one. Let us know what you think in the comments below if you're have seen this. If not, check that out. Like you said, take you I don't know, a good 2 hours maybe for all of it, if you binge it all. And yeah, it's just it's hard to grasp. You know, it's hard to like give it, like you said, you're just leaning towards kidnapping.
But I would never bet on it.
No, you can't. There's no way. There's just no concrete evidence. So, and you got to be careful with documentaries. You know, we've been led astray.
Yes,
you got to be careful.
I feel like this one did a way better job though of not throwing the book at Yellow.
I agree. I do agree with that. It felt more balanced, and you felt like you got the story.
Yeah,
because they could have left the girl out at the end.
They could have,
and they didn't.
That conversation. And all
that was a huge insight into her mindset. You know,
and it made me feel good about the FBI. They don't jump to conclusions.
Yes,
they are very scientific about everything.
We cannot. Now, the lady got on my nerves. I will say the FBI lady, because it's like, I know what you're saying, lady. I get it. You don't have jurisdiction. Did you do something or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know.
I do wish I knew more details about.
We got to have borders, and I get it. You got to have. I mean, I'm claiming the same thing.
We're the U.S.
Exactly. You're kind of like, yeah, well, I can be a hypocrite a little bit, can I? Because we got the power to do things like that and find this chick. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Hopefully, I really do. I hope there's some kind of like breakthrough. I just feel like it's been so long now. I don't know. You know how it is. But hey, we've seen crazier things happen.
We really have.
So maybe she is out there and just doesn't want to be home. I don't know. Maybe that is, or maybe there's a mental thing going on, or maybe she is.
That's
like you
a good
said.
point. Could have been a mental break.
Could have been a mental break, and she really don't know. Or like you said, man, something horrible about her time was up, and
her usefulness,
so to speak. That's horrible to have to say that,
is,
but that's the way. Again, that's the way they look at that shit, I guess. So anyway, Amy Bradley. I hope you're out there, Amy.
I do too.
And let us know
if
what you
watch
think.
this.
Yeah, if you're in Barbados,
we're rooting for you.
Yeah, whatever that is. Like I said, maybe just call in. Just call,
please.
If you're there with kids now or something, and you got a whole new lifestyle, just call your parents. Let them know
man.
it's killing them.
It is killing them. The love
That
a
is killing
parent
them.
has for their kid. I'm telling you, dude,
Yeah,
it's pitiful.
it's like like when we were talking about the Stephen Avery stuff with making a murderer and convicting a murderer. Either way, no matter what you believe, and I know we had some changes on that because either way, Mama died not knowing, and
That's so sad.
don't want to go through that. So call your mama if you're out there, Amy. If not, I hope you're okay somewhere. But yeah, are we good? I think
We're
we covered
good.
that pretty good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one, and a lot of different directions it could go, a lot of possibilities, and there really is no way to lean one way or the other. It's just like some things happen, but they can't be verified, and it's just a weird timing, about how she's in the room. Like you said, that dad has to feel like crazy, horrible, even though he did nothing wrong. But just because that little 30-minute window is just what happened in that 30 minutes is crazy. And it's like ghost, boom, vanished. Anyway. All right, well, we'll wrap it up. You have to work. We did, what do you got, like an hour and a half as usual? Barely, maybe?
Yeah.
So
Maybe
we squeezed
an
it
hour
in
and a
there.
half, something like that.
We barely squeezed it in
You're
there.
good.
So, yeah, it's like right at 12 o'clock, so not too bad. But anyway, anything else? Did I miss something I was going to say? Were you going to say something about the podcast or live or, oh, yeah, Dunkin' Egg has been moved to next year, apparently, I'm hearing.
You got to be kidding me.
So, we started going live again, and we're supposed to have this summer, which we thought would be August, but again, that's not confirmed, but apparently that's reshoots are happening, so that's been moved to next year. If that's the case, we will have Dunkin' Egg and Dragon back to back. Same year.
Wow.
So if that happens, I'm assuming it's going to be like April and then August for 2 shows.
Wow.
Again, and that's not confirmed. So that's the update there. I showed you, I will say really quick before we go, I showed you this, that I had the software for all the new vlogging stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen the Bigfoot and the Stormtroopers vlogging.
I love it.
It's fucking hilarious. I love the Bigfoots and Bigfoot and Downsy. Have you seen Downsy? Bigfoot and Downsy, that series. He's got the Down syndrome dude with him, and they go on adventures together.
No, I got to see it.
Oh my god.
The
Anyway,
ones you sent me were funny.
I just did those like trying it out.
That was good.
So I got the software, and I was thinking I'll do Game of Thrones stuff. Like I did like a random Eddie Stark, long lost cousin of Ned. Like we were talking about with the videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So I did a couple of those, and I played around with a couple other ones. I did one for Superman too. After I watched Superman, did that video. By the way, that video is out there. I did a solo video for the first time in a year. That's out right now. Superman review. James slept through it, so we were going to talk about it.
So embarrassing.
He slept through it, so maybe we'll talk about that later. But that video, I did a review on that, is out as well. Anyway, I think that's it. That's all I was going to say.
Awesome. Get the Crimson Gods.
Oh, yeah, and grab that book if you want that book. Anyway, all right, we're good?
Yes,
All
sir.
set? All right, well, thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Find Amy. Amy, call home if you see this.
Please.
Thanks for watching. And we'll let it fade to black.